Hey there, online psychology. This is Mr. Cron, and these are your notes for your psychological research project proposal. Okay, this is a proposal. You cannot conduct this research. Okay, it requires all kinds of institutional approval and different things and risk management to make sure that the researchers are not harmed and that the subjects are not harmed. So we are just looking at doing a proposal. So whatever you come up with in this project, don't actually do it. You do not have authorization to do it. On that note, let's talk about these notes so that you're ready to come up with your own psychological research project proposal and get the summative points that will be involved, because this will be worth quite a few points. So make sure you do a good job and pay attention to this video. Here we go. Psychological research project proposal. These notes prepare you for the upcoming psychological research project in Psychology B. So step one, you're going to pick a topic. So you want to wonder, what is your topic? Why is this important to study? Okay. My example is nicotine use by high school students. So if I'm interested in the very broad topic of nicotine use by high school students, that's where I would start for step one. And I would simply just write that in. I said that it's important to study this topic to improve people's health. Okay. Step two, define the problem. So you're going to take a big problem like nicotine use and you're going to bring it down a little bit. In this case, I came up with vaping. Okay. So what is the specific problem you're researching? My example is the percentage of nicotine use in high school students rising due to vaping. So is it rising because of the availability of vaping as opposed to the older forms such as cigarettes and cigars and so forth? So that's my step two. Step three is literature review. This is when you're going to read about what has already been written on your topic. And there has been so much psychological research done in the last 100 years that you're pretty much guaranteed to find extensive literature on whatever general topic you're interested in. So you want to be able to discuss at least 2 psychological studies that helped you with your research on whatever topic you chose. You want to be able to share quotes, statistics from each of these studies to back up your work. So you're going to read what has already been written about the topic so that you have background information on what's been tried so far. This helps you better understand the topic, narrow your search, maybe even more, get a better idea, or maybe you'll decide this topic is not for you. And it's going to give you ideas, more ideas about what you might want to pursue in this topic. And my example is to read government health statistics, got to move this a little bit, on teen e-cigarette use, vaping, and compare these statistics to previous generations. Step 4, formulate a hypothesis. I'm going to move my camera right up there. So formulate a hypothesis. So you can see SpongeBob saying you can make a hypothesis if you use your imagination. So you want to make a testable statement that predicts the outcome of the study. So you're predicting, but it needs to be in the form of something testable. Okay. So for instance, the invention of e-cigarettes has reinvigorated the nicotine industry. So my hypothesis is that nicotine use in teens was going down until the advent of vaping and e-cigarette use, and now it is actually rising again. And so I want to show that. That's what I'm hypothesizing. That's what I'm looking for information on. And maybe it will turn up that I'm totally wrong, but at least I researched the topic and got a better idea about it. So that's step 4. Step 5, share your data. You always got to share your data. So share key pieces of data that you have gathered and support or refute your hypothesis. Include different kinds of data, such as questionnaires, crime records, and sales records. Have a mixture of quantitative and qualitative research data. So quantitative is going to be stuff that involves numbers, the quantity of things. So you're looking for hard statistics, data, facts. Qualitative might be something more like a focus group or a questionnaire, something where people tell you their opinion on it. It's good to have a mixture of both if you can find it. Not every topic's going to have that readily, but if you can find a mixture of both, it helps support or refute your hypothesis. Step 6, you're going to analyze and share your results. Okay. So based on your results, what are your conclusions and recommendations? You're going to report your findings so that others can evaluate and even replicate your research. So in this project, you are actually going to share this with your fellow classmates and they are going to review it, which leads us into the final step, step 7. Wait, let me talk about this a little bit more. So you analyze and share your results. You're going to actually, your peers are going to see this. They're going to perform a peer review. I'll talk more about that when I talk about the actual project details, which is going to be a different video. But this one just gets us going on this note section. And then finally, citing your sources. So because this is a psychology course, we use what's called APA. This is a slightly condensed, but pretty on the spot version of APA. You can see here, this is an example citation. So you're going to have at least 2 sources, and you're going to cite them using this format. So you can see this is my name. This is a hypothetical source that I'm giving you right now. My last name, my first name, my middle initial, the year, in parentheses, you can see another period. So these punctuations matter when it comes to citing APA sources. And then the name of my article was Psychological Research and Stuff, in quotes, okay? Depending on the type of source you use, it matters in terms of whether you put it in quotes or not. But for our purposes, the name of your article that you're going to use, because we're going to be overwhelmingly using articles. You could use a book, but in our case, most of us will be using articles. So I put that in quotes. And then there's another period at the end. You can see there too, all of this matters when it comes to citing your sources. And finally, I put the website. Now, if you're doing this with a book, it's a little different. If you're doing it with different sources, it's a little different. But for the most part, we're going to be doing online articles that I will give you some different ones that you can use. You can go your own way if you want to. However, I'm going to have everything you need if you want to just use one of the topics that I picked ahead of time for you. Okay. So these are your notes on the 7 steps to psychological research project proposal. If you have any questions for me, send me a Schoology message, send me an email. Good luck, online psychology.